Todd Combs sat in the back of his limo, the sleek black leather interior reflecting the dim lights of the city. His eyes, cold and calculating, stared out the window as if the glass itself could help him crush his growing list of enemies. The directors sat with him, silent, afraid to speak out of turn. Todd's fingers tapped the armrest methodically, his heavy breathing filling the silence like some twisted Darth Vader cosplay. "Play the video," Todd said, his voice low and menacing. The directors shifted uneasily, one of them fumbling with a tablet. The video came to life, my voice, Cyber Prophet Dave, echoing through the confined space. It was the recording of the previous takedown, my expose on Todd's ranking system, a system that thrived on chaos, chance, and fear. In the video, I mocked the absurdity of pitting employees against each other, of firing people based on metrics that didn't care about their skill, their dedication, or their humanity. Todd's eyes narrowed as the video played on, showing how I had gleefully exposed the inevitable failure of his beloved system. The directors avoided eye contact, sensing the anger simmering just beneath the surface. "This prophet and this so-called Lizard Farm author," Todd growled, "they think they can mock me. They think they can destroy GEICO." His voice was tight, every word sharpened with malice. He leaned forward, staring directly at the directors as if daring them to respond. They stayed silent. "We are under attack," Todd said, louder now. "Cyber Prophet Dave has poisoned our employees. He's making them doubt the ranking system, our system. And that Lizard Farm author, User 391, they're spreading rebellion." The directors glanced at each other, unsure how to respond. Todd's frustration grew as he paced in the limited space of the limo, his breaths heavy like some villain preparing for the final showdown. Todd stopped pacing, his eyes dark with fury. "Do you know what's worse than dissent?" he asked. "Employees thinking they deserve better. That's what this prophet and that author are doing. They're making people think they deserve fairness. If we let this go on, they'll expect real evaluations, actual merit. They'll want to be treated like they have value." The directors flinched. Todd had always been ruthless, but now he was sounding like a man who had lost his last shred of humanity. One of the directors, bolder than the others, cleared his throat and spoke up, voice shaking. "But Todd, what about the employees affected by this system? We're talking about single mothers, people with families, pregnant women. Shouldn't we consider—" "I don't care if they're single moms," Todd interrupted, laughing coldly. "I don't care if they're pregnant women. The bottom 10% is the bottom 10%. Metrics don't discriminate, and neither do I." A nervous silence followed, thick with tension. The director who had dared to speak up quickly looked down, regretting his choice. Todd, meanwhile, sat back in his seat, smirking as if he had just delivered a masterstroke of leadership. "The system is perfect," Todd continued, his voice now smooth with satisfaction. "The numbers make the decisions. If they can't keep up, they don't belong here. Simple as that." "Simple as that," Dave mocked quietly in the narration. "Just flip a coin and fire someone. After all, it's not like they're actual people, right?" The directors stayed quiet, their faces pale. One of them, more cautious than the others, spoke up tentatively. "But Todd, what about the morale? People are starting to talk. They're losing faith in the system." Todd's fist slammed onto the armrest, the sound reverberating through the car like a final verdict. "Then crush them!" he shouted, his voice rising with fury. "This is our empire. GEICO is sacred, and we cannot allow voices like Cyber Prophet Dave or that Lizard Farm author to tear us down. We must destroy them." His face twisted into a sneer, the room now echoing with his anger. "I want them found. I want them gone. Hunt them down, find this User 391, and silence this Cyber Prophet Dave. GEICO will not be mocked." And there it was. Todd Combs, CEO of GEICO, had crossed the line from cold corporate leader to full-blown villain. The kind of man who would hunt down authors and prophets for daring to speak the truth. The directors sat in stunned silence, unwilling or unable to stop him. Todd leaned back in his seat, breathing heavily, satisfied with his declaration of war. "We will crush them," he muttered. "They won't know what hit them."